welcome back to another episode of Open Shutter. Thanks everyone for watching and listening, wherever this thing is. Uh, Today we have Marni on the program, so huge thanks to Marni for taking the time. Shout out to Tatiana. If you guys were watching last week's show with Tatiana mentioned the show to Marni, and then Marni goes, oh, okay, cool, let me go check this out. So thanks, Marni, for coming on and supporting the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Anyway, for the people that don't know who you are, maybe just a quick intro about yourself.
Sure. My name is Marni. I live in the GTA. I'm a photography advocate. I am a teacher for 30 years. I have a beautiful family who, hi, everyone watching
Hi, everyone.
me. So I'm really excited to be here and chat about one of my passions.
I love it. And for people that are in the audience right now, if you guys want to fire off questions, feel free to do that. And we'd be trying our best to answer them. And I'm not sure where you want to start. Maybe you want to kind of like start maybe from the start of how you got into photography.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I've always loved being a photographer. I've been called our family historian, always taking pictures on family vacations and just really loving capturing moments. So as with many during COVID, it was an opportunity to use a lot of spare time and free time to take more of a deep dive and learn, some of the more technical sides and settings, things about composition that I didn't quite know yet. So I took a few online courses and got out and about every weekend, everywhere I could, as often as I could, and just practiced to really try and get to another level.
Yeah, it's really the key, just to practice. It's the hardest part. Yeah. Like, it's just like you can to me, it's like you can read all the books and watch all the stuff on YouTube until you actually do it. Then you don't really know, you know what I mean? So it's good that you took the time and spent the COVID time wisely, you know?
For sure. It's, anything that you do, that you practice makes it better.
Yeah. Alan says we love Marni, by the way.
Oh, thanks, Alan.
Is that family or friends?
Close friends.
Nice. Well, thanks, Alan. I love you too, man. So I guess from there, things just kind of snowballed, right, for you in terms of just pursuing the passion of photography.
It did. So I wanted to, first fill time during COVID and just sort of try and experiment with different types of photography, try and do different genres of photography, even dabbling out in creating a business for myself, doing family photo shoots and headshots for people and little parties. So that's been really a fun side gig, but it's been great to just get out in the city and find areas of the city that we never knew existed and find little pockets of the city that we had never seen before. So that really allowed me to, start to build a portfolio and to meet wonderful people. Toronto has an incredibly supportive and vast photography community. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, what's a pocket of Toronto that you've discovered on your on your explorings that you
what haven't I discovered? I've everywhere.
What's a favorite pocket maybe?
Anything along the water, I love. Our skyline, I joke to my family, oh, you see that building? And I point to the CN Tower and I say, I'd like to take a picture of that. I probably have thousands already of the CN Tower. But I love getting graffiti and, walking along Graffiti Alley downtown or getting out into some of the nature pockets, the more ravine and brickworks and areas where you're in the middle of our city, but you feel so removed and so in nature that it's incredible what our city is, preserved for that.
It's amazing what happens when you just walk around.
It is.
Instead of just taking the subway all the time, just walk around a little bit.
Even being on the subway, It's
Yeah.
fun. It's the stations are cool down in
Yeah.
museums and some of the
Yeah.
feel in different stations, it's really cool to capture as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, are you always like whenever you're walking around, are you always like looking for a shot? Like, how do you
Always,
are you always
always.
looking? Are you
Everything now
Yeah.
is, "Oh, that would make a cool picture." My camera is
Yeah.
always in my bag.
Always in the bag?
I'm
Yeah.
often making my husband stop the car to say, "Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's such a cool picture. Just stop for a second."
And your husband's not into photography, or is he into it?
He's my biggest cheerleader. He
Nice.
loves taking pictures. He does a lot of videos when we're on trips, but he will stop a car, pull over, patiently wait with me, walk in the
It's
rain or the
nice.
snow.
Oh my god.
My kids too, so it's
That's
great.
good.
It's a lot of
Yeah, it's
fun.
good. That's good. Yeah, it's kinda like sharing the joy of it, right?
For sure, for
You know?
sure.
Yeah, I always say there's always a shot to be had, you just gotta, like, look for it. Like, to
Exactly.
me, like, the challenge of kinda making like, we were just talking offline about, like, kind of living in Toronto and kind of everything like, we live here, so it's very easy to, like, not notice things, but I think if you're able to notice stuff, there's always a shot to be
There's
had. Just
always a shot.
you gotta pay attention though, right? You gotta pay attention.
Yeah, it can
Yeah,
always be different. I did one exercise in a course where you had to be in one specific room in your house, it was locked down, and
yeah.
take pictures from 20 different vantage points.
Oh, wow.
And it was really tough. It's tough
How'd
to
that
do
go?
that. But now when I'm out somewhere that I've been many times or, in a field of flowers or, nature, it's looking at things from different vantage points that's really changed a lot of how I look
Mm,
at composition in some of the pictures I take.
yeah. Interesting. 20 different vantage points, eh?
Yeah,
Damn, that's
yeah,
pretty
give it a
intense.
try. It's harder than it sounds.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, it's good. I think honestly, just kind of changing perspective helps a lot with regards to photography. Like, just change the perspective. Like, go high,
Mhm,
go low, move
mhm,
like 5 feet this way or 10 feet that way. Like,
mhm,
it's just it
mhm.
can be so simple sometimes, you know.
Yes, for sure.
But I know they mentioned that you had a side business. So, like, how did you find like actually having a business and making money? Like, was it like an easy transition in terms of going to that route too?
I understand the artist struggle.
Yeah.
It's hard, but because it's a passion, it's fun. So
Sure.
I do some, music groups for little children, and I had a mom approach me and ask would I do some pictures for her family,
Mm,
and I had brought my camera to one of my baby classes and took pictures of the babies just as a practice, and she said, "I'd love if you would do some pictures for my family," and I said, "Oh,
okay.
sure, that would be great," and
Yeah.
then really a lot of word of mouth has, kind of made it grow,
Nice.
and, the fall is a really fun time getting out in the leaves with families
Yeah.
or, then I bought some equipment for my basement and set up a little space for people to have headshots or holiday shots, and,
Nice.
it's fun. Then, from
Yeah.
that, people have said, "Oh, I've got a birthday party," or, "I have a friend
Right.
who's doing a baby shower. Would you be available?" So,
Wow.
it's kind of evolved quite naturally and slowly and not with too much, oh, there it is.
That's Barney's website.
That's my website.
Yeah.
Shout out to my daughter, Haley, who's my web creator and
Oh yeah.
advertiser.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think it's important to keep it like fun, because I think sometimes, sometimes when people try to turn their passion to like a job or career, I think it's easy for it not to have fun. So you got to make sure that you're doing it for like the right reason.
Absolutely, and I do, I
So
love it. It's fun to
yeah,
work with people and families. It's fun to capture those moments. You've got my daughter
yeah.
Mallory's graduation there
Okay,
on the
okay.
grounds of U of T.
Nice,
It's nice
nice.
to just freeze those moments.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. Yeah, it's just again, it's like documenting, right? Like it's
Exactly.
good. Yeah, it's good to see. So is this the best way for people to contact you or through your Instagram?
Either through my Instagram or through the website. The website has, sorry, my Instagram bio has the link to my website. So
excellent.
it's
And we're just saying, and you are the proud publisher of your own book.
I am.
Which is amazing.
Just turned a year old, my book.
Just turned a year old.
It did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Pretty proud, eh?
Yeah, it was. So I've kind of approached this whole world of photography with, oh, I have a goal. I want to publish a book, or I want to take people's headshots, or I want to capture a picture of this. And I'm a really goal-oriented person. So when I've set a goal, then I've got to achieve that goal. So there's my book. It was a labor of love. It took quite a while to get it to where I wanted it to be before it would go live on Amazon. But it's filled with pictures of our beautiful city. It's got all those little pockets, some well-known, some not as well-known, some street shots of people. I always kind of wonder if somebody will pick it up and say, hey, that's me inside the pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's exciting.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
It's awesome that you actually went follow through on it. Actually did it, right? Which is great.
Yeah, there were a few times where I was feeling a bit frustrated. I had started the first layout of the manuscript with one program and sent it all in to get an author proof, and the photo quality that came back was just terrible. And I was, frustrated and dejected. I thought, okay, maybe this isn't actually something that's going to happen. But I started it again in a better program, and it was a real learning experience.
That's good, though.
To get it to where it needed to go, but it's there now.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, is there a favorite photo that you took for the book?
Yeah, there's some, but I've got it here. One of my absolute favorites. That's also done so well for me is this
nice
photo of downtown. The streets were totally empty. It was locked down. It was just the one bus in the downtown core, but the edit to black and white with just the pop of color. One of my favorite ways to just take a picture and make it a little bit more interesting. So that's one of the favorites.
I love the edit. I love the edit on that for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah. What's some advice for someone that wants to do something similar? Do you have any
to publish a book?
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up, because it's a big job. It took longer than I thought. It's a big undertaking and at times can feel a bit overwhelming, but do it. Amazon has a really user-friendly self-publishing platform and great tech support. And it's easy to walk through the steps, but it's hard to make it what you want it to look like.
Right. In terms of customizing the pages and such.
For sure. So my family was super helpful with the layout and helping me, move pictures around so that the pages looked aesthetically pleasing and made sense. The first layout was a little eclectic and a little bit chaotic. And then we kind of, went through and edited some of the photos out and changed the layout around and really made the flow better, made a lot more sense. But then I think it was about 4 author proofs until the quality was where I wanted it to be as far as how the pictures looked. It's, it's different than printing a beautiful glossy picture and putting it in a frame. When it's printed like that, the pictures can get compressed or, the quality doesn't come through if it's not high enough resolution. So these were some of the things I learned as I went through the process, each manuscript, to get it to a point where I was ready to push the button to publish it.
Wow. It's great. I mean, I don't know if many people know that Amazon has a self-publishing option.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Alan, who said hi at the
Yeah.
beginning, Alan told me about it, having published a book himself, and actually was the one who said to me, you could do this too with your pictures.
Mm.
So now it's here.
Alan's asking, what is your point of view on editing your photos, particularly the ones in your book? That's
My
Alan.
point of view.
That's what he's asking. Good question,
Um,
Alan.
Thanks, Alan. I feel like each picture, when I start to edit, I have a workflow that I'll go through with some of the, I edit in Lightroom.
Yeah.
And I try to just bring out from the raw image the richness of whether it's the color or texture, depth of field, whatever's in that picture. And then I sort of take a step back and look at it, for example, with the bus, and think, what would that look like in black and white? Or what would that look like with some selected colors removed? Or my favorite rainbow umbrella prop, how would that look if just the umbrella's in color and everything else is black and white? It really depends on where I am. Architecture looks really great edited to black and white. Nature looks amazing in color, although some nature shots really look cool when they're edited to black and white. So I like to play around with it.
It's good. It's good to play around. And obviously, like if people go on your Instagram, they're going to see like a little bit of everything. So which is great, right? We were just talking offline about like this umbrella shot, which I think is a really cool photo. Apparently inspired by Eddie.
Eddie inspired the umbrella. Yes.
Eddie's watching this. It's all because
Eddie's on there.
It's all because of you, buddy.
He's been a great supporter and inspiration of my photography in the last couple years since I've met him. But I saw a photo of his at his Twist Gallery exhibit, and it had that rainbow umbrella, and I thought, what a cool prop that is to use in pictures. So
yeah, I think a rainbow umbrella always works, eh? Like it doesn't matter where you are.
For sure, even if it's not raining.
Even if it's not raining.
It's
even
just
a bright sunny day. Just use it anyway. It's a good prop.
Sure. Yes.
Well, hopefully that answers the question, Alan.
Thanks,
Alan. It's good. Yeah, just again, people see the great thing with like photography is that like we can all be at the same place, but we're all gonna like edit the photo differently.
Yes.
Which is cool. Like we'll all have different photos. So that's what I like about it. Like there's no right or wrong answer.
Exactly. It's interesting to be in a group and at the same place, and then everybody's photos are so unique of that exact same area.
Exactly. I know that you are part of ladies of the GTA. So if you want to give them a shout out, how you guys?
Yes. So that was my my baby, Ladies of the GTA.
Love
it. I set a goal for myself to try and get out more. When I was starting with photography during COVID, I was going with my family and, exploring the city, and got to a point where I wanted to get involved more with the community of Toronto photographers. And there's so many meetups and get-togethers that people have, and wanted to start to get involved with that community. And it's fantastic. I've really enjoyed it, and wanted to start to do more sunrises or moonrises, or, sort of try and use some of the things that I've been at other photo meetups for. But, sometimes as a female photographer, you don't necessarily feel safe going places by yourself. Or, I've noticed a lot of the groups that I've gotten in are predominantly male, and I wanted to create a nice community for women where they could feel comfortable together and have, a common interest and a common focus, and learn from each other and cultivate that kind of community. So we're just a few months young, but we've had a few
how do people find the group?
They can DM me from my Instagram.
Okay.
It's probably about 30 women right now.
Okay.
started out with, I just reached out to some of the women I had met through meetups through the city and said, hey, would you be interested in having some, photo meetups of
Yeah.
female photographers who are all within the city? So
Awesome, man.
we've got a cool little calendar of events that goes into the fall, and
Cool.
I'm excited to see it grow.
Yeah, I think honestly it could get pretty big.
I hope
It
so.
could probably get pretty big. Yeah,
I
for
think that would
sure.
be
For
great.
sure.
I think that would be
Yeah,
great.
100%. Kitty Temperament says, "You are amazing, Marnie."
That's my mom. Thanks,
Oh,
mom.
is that your mom? Shout out
Yes.
to your mom. Rock on.
Shout out to my parents
Oh, shout
who
out to your
probably
parents.
bought me my first camera.
Right? That's where it always starts, doesn't it?
That's where it starts.
That's
My
where it
dad used
always
to hang
starts.
pictures in our basement of photos that he took on vacations and photos he took in his
Amazing.
backyard. Now I've
That's
got
how I got
pictures in my
started.
basement from
That's
our
how I got started.
vacations.
Vacation yeah, photos from vacation. That's how it started for me. And
For
then all of
sure.
a sudden it just kinda grows, right?
Exactly.
You just never know where it's gonna take you sometimes, you gotta keep going, which is sometimes hard, but it's, also very simple too.
I love being
And
on vacation and coming home with now far too many pictures, but being able to look back and remember each moment and each place, and
yeah,
yeah.
Haley is asking, can you tell us what gives you inspiration and what advice would you give novice photographers? Jason.
Okay, I don't know who's asking the question. Haley's my daughter,
Jason, I think
Jason's
is
my husband, but somebody's asking me to talk about inspiration. Um, I now get inspired anywhere I go. I can be walking to the park down the street or in a parking lot, and see the sunset in the
yeah,
sky and think, oh, I've got to get somewhere where I can capture that. Um, I do keep an ongoing list of pictures I want to try and capture or places that I want to go. So cherry blossom season is just coming to an end, and
mhm.
I've got 4 or 5 places on a list that I didn't
Oh.
photograph yet. So next year I'll try and go to
Oh, for
somewhere
cherry
maybe.
blossoms. For cherry
Sorry?
blossoms, you mean. For cherry blossoms.
For cherry blossoms, just as
Ah,
an example, yeah, I
yeah,
try to
yeah.
keep a list for myself of places that I'd like to capture or the type of pictures that I'd like to see, which is a great way to, when you're kind of stuck, oh, well, where should I go? What do I want to take pictures of? I've always got a
Yeah.
list. Um,
Yeah.
I follow some of the, city um, Toronto-based Instagram accounts that
Sure.
will promote festivals in the city.
Right.
This weekend, the Fleur de Vie Flower Festival in Yorkville. So I kind of try to keep a pulse on things happening in and around the city. My family will
Okay.
all inform me when they see things as well.
Okay.
But
Okay.
for novice photographers, get out and
Oh.
shoot. Just get
Oh.
out and
Yeah. Yeah, I think really it's all about the eye, right? Like
it
it's really just
is
like I said earlier, just don't give up. Even like with this shot here with like the cherry with the are those cherry blossoms?
magnolias.
Magnolias
Yes.
at Mount Pleasant. I think it's cool framing.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's cool framing.
I
Yeah.
I feel also for new photographers, follow photographers on
Mm,
Instagram
mm,
because other people's work is hugely inspiring and
yeah.
can give you great ideas and examples of composition or locations and places to go or things to do and try with your camera that you may not have thought of before.
Oh, totally. As I was saying, so proud to be part of the group and can't wait to meet everyone in person one day. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. Pumped
Fantastic.
up.
That's great.
Who's someone that inspires you for like photography? Yeah, you can name a few people.
Yeah, so I don't want
Only
to like
one.
name people, but forget people.
Okay.
Um, so there are well-known Toronto photographers who I've
Yeah.
gotten to know.
Nice.
Kurt, Addie,
Right.
have been real mentors. I've done workshops with Kurt. Um, I've been at their meetups. Taku, I've been to some of
Yeah.
his meetups as well. They're such incredibly skilled photographers, but they are so willing to help you, talk to you. You know, I've been trying to learn photo pills and
Yeah.
do alignment photos. And,
Yeah.
you know, I've sent Eddie so many messages and he so patiently helps me out to see if it's lined up properly or if I'm on the right track. And the women that are in this group now, I mean, it's just been fantastic to see their work and meet them through different Toronto events and then learn from them and learn from their work. Everybody
Yeah.
is so talented, but so supportive.
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone has their own knowledge too, like that they can impart on someone else. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it could be as basic, or it could be really advanced. But you can even be like just a different like approach or philosophy on whatever. But it doesn't have to be earth shattering advice. It can be pretty simple. But everyone has their own kind of like thing, right? So
Yes.
100%. Kathy F is saying, "Good for you, Marni. So many to see how far you've come in photography."
Thanks,
Shout
Kat.
out, shout out, Kathy.
Thanks, Kathy.
Alan, so many questions, Alan. Just joking. If you had to choose one lens to carry around with you, what's your fave? Same question for your fave camera. It's a
Okay,
gear
so
question.
it's an interesting question. I don't shoot on a camera with lenses. I shoot on a bridge camera.
Yeah,
I use it's Panasonic Lumix FZ
yeah,
1000.
yeah,
It's a fixed lens, but
yeah.
it's an incredible lens that goes from 25 to 400.
Nice.
Yes,
That's handy. I
exactly.
want that.
Plus, it can do macro. So
I want.
it's such a versatile
Nope.
machine
Love
or
it.
piece of equipment. And I have issues often with my back, so I never wanted to have the weight and the bag and the lenses. And although I look at people with their incredible telephoto lenses and I have camera envy always, I just always go back to this camera does probably 95% of what I would want in
Mm,
photography. And I'm not a wedding photographer or a,
right.
professional photographer out there that's got to deliver on a higher, I don't know, higher quality than what this camera can do.
Mhm.
So it serves me very well.
Good. That's,
So
that's all that
only
really matters.
one lens, Alan. It's fixed to the camera.
25 to 400 though. That's pretty.
25 to 400.
It's
It's
pretty
incredible.
handy.
Yes.
Yeah, I always say like whatever. If your gear works for you, just use it. Like you don't have to buy the most expensive camera on the market. Just if that's what it works for you. That's what works for you. Like that's what are you gonna? You can't really argue with that.
No, one of the first courses I took, they said the best camera is the one with you.
Yeah,
So
the one on you. Yeah,
there are times
exactly.
it's my iPhone and it's
Yeah,
taking
exactly.
incredible pictures too because I don't have my camera with me.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Great question, Alan. And speaking of travel, you just got back from Utah.
Utah is
Shout
beautiful.
out Utah.
Shout out
That's
to
gonna be on my next trip, I think.
for sure. You have
Yeah,
to. If you
like
enjoy nature, I've got 3,000 pictures to work through. That was one of my bucket list shots.
look at this.
Shout out to Jason who got up with me to keep me safe at 3 in the morning to get the Milky Way in that
Oh,
picture.
really? That was 3
Uh,
that was 3 a.m.?
3 a.m. Yes.
So like how like I guess there's a lot of planning to that, eh? Like
There's planning to know, yeah, planning and some luck. I was taking
yeah.
pictures almost each night on that trip, and they went from terrible to that.
Yeah.
It's always a learning process. Astrophotography is not easy.
No.
And yeah, so the Milky Way, it's only certain times of the night that you'll get it in the sky where you are, and certain seasons where you'll find it in the sky. So we were lucky that it was literally behind the hotel where we were staying, which
Oh,
was
it was.
area.
Look at that planning.
And that was some luck, as well as,
Wow.
planning and some good luck that it lined up. But
Yeah.
the timing, I mean, you got to be dedicated.
Yeah.
And
But it was
that
worth it. It was
3
worth
a.m.
it.
alarm was tough.
It was worth it.
It was definitely worth it.
Definitely worth it. Yeah,
100%.
exactly. Was this your favorite photo from the whole trip?
That's probably in my top 3.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to process them, go through them all. There's a
They
lot.
got that one there too.
Yeah. The scale of Zion just blew me away.
Crazy, eh?
There's a tiny road in the bottom corner of that picture with some trucks, and they
Oh, I
were
see
pretty
it.
big trucks,
Yeah, I see it.
but that just shows you the scale of that park. It's incredible.
Wow. And you were there for how long?
We were gone for a week.
A week, eh? Just
Mhm.
driving around?
Driving from Page, Arizona. We were in Antelope Canyon, which is
Nice.
a photographer's playground.
Yeah.
And then we were in Bryce Canyon and in Zion, which are both Utah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Cool.
It was beautiful.
What's some advice for someone that's going down there for doing some photography? Besides the planning.
Yeah, just be ready to stop the car a million times. Every turn of our drive, every turn on our hikes was more spectacular and more spectacular and more spectacular.
Wow.
I find nature incredibly restorative and grounding, and it's just, to be present in a place like that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Super gorgeous.
Yeah.
Research your hikes, know where you want to go.
Take lots of water.
Take lots of water, take lots of SD cards, and have 3 charge batteries in your bag.
Take more SD cards than water. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yes, that's
The
right.
weight. Yeah. No, it's good. Looks like a good time. And you guys had good weather too, which is all that really matters, right?
We did. We had the full gamut of weather when we were hiking in Bryce. I don't have any of those pictures up yet. We started our first day there in snow.
Oh, wow.
And 4 layers of clothes. And I took pictures at the start of a few of the lookout points of Bryce Canyon, and it was beautifully covered in snow. And when our hike was done and we came back to those same places, I retook the pictures because the snow was gone and it had warmed up significantly.
Wow.
But we were blessed with blue skies that followed us most of the way. So,
oh yeah, that's great, eh?
Yep.
You guys going back soon?
I would go back. There's many places I'd go back to, but we have such a we have our own bucket list of travel. So
another list of places.
Another list of places.
Another list of places.
It's sometimes hard to say, okay, well, we're going to go back here, but then we haven't been there yet. So
right. Yeah. I know I'm the same way too, right? Like there's just too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Katie Tepperman saying, how about antelope pick? You want to see it? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, there's an Antelope Canyon picture on my Instagram feed.
This one?
That was an antelope. Yes.
Looks like a face.
It is a woman's face.
The
shadows create incredible visions in there. There's that I have that's looks like a black and white picture. It wasn't black and white, but the way the light shone through on the wall of the canyon, there's the perfect outline of a hummingbird.
Oh, really?
There's the Antelope Canyon picture she's talking about. Down one more. There it is.
Nice.
That's the bucket list antelope.
It's almost like just like right from the movies.
It's incredible to walk through there. It's so spectacular.
Was it busy? Like, was it busy with people?
So they've they've tried to manage the flow of people through. In past years, I think our guide said they would get up to 6,000 people a day walking through the canyon,
Crazy.
pushing and shoving to take their photos, but they've streamlined it. Now you have to go tour through with a Navajo guide because it's on Navajo territory.
Right.
And so they manage the groups. You can't get into those canyons without a guide, without having booked a tour.
So that's what you guys did.
And yeah, they're small groups. We had 10 people.
That's good.
And they'll space it out so that you can really enjoy the canyon. You can, take your pictures. They're incredible with helping you set your phone and capture the light and giving you the space and suggestions of where to stand and shoot some of the shots. I think I walked out of the canyon with probably 800 pictures.
Nice.
But it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, it's like you're the only one there.
Yeah, it didn't feel like we were the only ones there. There are definitely lines of people and groups ahead and behind you, but to be able to see it and capture it without the crowds in front of you, that's what they've done a really great job of regulating the flow.
Yeah, and that's what the people want. They want it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Jeez, I need to get down there.
Yes.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, you talk about nature, and it's almost like therapy,
It totally is. For me, if I'm stressed, if I'm not feeling well, if I'm dealing with a sore back and I take my camera and go, it all goes away.
Yeah, exactly. Nature and photography, both good therapists.
Both.
Yes, exactly. Where else have you gone that you've really enjoyed in terms of like travel? I know there was just talking about Iceland.
We were in Iceland.
Yeah, we were talking about Iceland. Fine.
That talk about nature and spectacular. The Northern Lights. We were lucky enough 2 nights to see Northern Lights. Again, alarm set for 1 a.m. and that's Reykjavik. That's the capital city. We were hiking on glaciers and driving the country, feeling like there was nobody else there. Wow. You truly feel like you are on your own in this grand, stunning setting. It is an incredible country. Definitely one I will go back to.
Totally,
without a doubt.
Yeah, I want to go back in the summertime and just drive around the whole country.
Yeah, I'd love to experience the 24 hours of daylight.
Exactly. You never sleep. It's great. You just keep shooting.
I'd equally love to go back when we got the tail end of their Northern Lights window, I guess you could say, because they were getting to the point where daylight, it was end of April, late April, and it was getting dark close to 9:45, 10 o'clock. I'd love to be there November, February. I mean, it would be really cold, rough, snowy conditions, but I think the Northern Lights would be incredibly powerful. Yeah.
I was there in December for my birthday like 5 years ago and got the Northern Lights. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Like
we're in a cool cycle with them now too this year.
Yeah.
The Northern Lights. Yeah, it's one of the, they say, most powerful years in 10 years or so for Northern Lights. We were able to capture them in Halliburton Labor Day weekend.
Oh yeah. Labor Day weekend, so like September.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's behind me.
Okay.
I
see.
That's Halliburton.
That's Halliburton.
That's Halliburton.
Bottom right.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's a cool photo.
Yeah.
Like the sky's on fire,
It was incredible.
Yeah. Okay. Halliburton.
Mm-hmm. I've seen anyone who wants to, follow along with the forecast of aurora in Ontario. There's a great Facebook group called Ontario Catchers, Aurora Catchers, something like that. And they are very tuned into the forecasts and where to go. And People share incredible pictures of what they've seen just outside the city, just up north.
I guess just goes to show you don't need to go too far, right?
You don't.
Don't need to go too far. Although it's nice sometimes.
Oh, for sure it is.
It's nice sometimes.
Yeah.
It's great. And what's that? And what's that photo with like the fireworks?
The
Behind you?
fireworks.
Yeah. What is that?
That was in Chile.
Okay.
Chile.
Chile.
We were in a town called Viña, which is along the coast,
Nice.
for a family celebration.
Yeah.
And we were there for New Year's, and they put on a
Oh,
spectacular fireworks display. I
really?
got lucky with those pictures because it was before I really knew any settings of how to capture anything as far as fireworks.
Really?
But it was a beautiful night to watch off a apartment balcony over the water.
Yeah. Well, I definitely got it.
Mhm.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. And you like Chile in general?
Yeah. Oh, it was really nice.
Yeah.
We were able to, get a flavor of the city. We were there for a really special celebration for our like my sister's family. Her
Okay.
husband's family is Chilean,
Nice.
and we didn't get to see all of the country. We saw a bit of Santiago, some of
Okay.
the heights around there in the mountain area, mountains or hills really that surround the city. But the coastline was beautiful. And
Nice.
then my family afterwards, 4 of us went on to Peru and went up to Machu Picchu. So
Yeah. You saw it?
another
Yeah, photos of Machu
photographer.
Picchu. Yeah, photos of Machu Picchu?
I do. They're somewhere down
Yeah.
my feed. Yeah,
Yeah.
my feed's got a lot. There's over 2,000 pictures, I think, now. So I
That's
have
gonna
posted
find
a bit
it.
of Machu Picchu, but I think it's way back in my feed.
Yeah.
Earlier days of that Instagram account.
It's cool that you saw that though.
It is spectacular.
Yeah. Talk about nature.
Talk about nature and ancient
Yeah.
civilizations and the way things were built and
Yeah.
preserved
It makes
and
you wonder, like, how was it even possible that they did that stuff?
how they got the bricks and materials
How?
up where they built, how they created. There's a window where on the summer solstice, that particular day, the sun will shine right through that window. It was sort of how they
Yeah.
marked their year. It's
Yeah.
mind-blowing.
Yeah, I remember because there was something similar in like Scotland or something like that, where like on the summer solstice, the sun shines through this like cave. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Like,
That's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah. Like, how do you
That is
like what?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find this photo now. I'm now on a mission.
To find Machu Picchu?
Yeah. What year am I in? Oh, this is still 2023. What year was
Oh,
it?
yeah. Well, I didn't have my Instagram account when we went. This account wasn't up yet. I wasn't doing photography as seriously as I am now. I started this account 2021, maybe
Right.
2020. COVID, right? We all started so much during COVID.
The COVID account. Yes, the COVID account. No, it's cool. It's definitely on my list too, Machu Picchu. All your work is amazing. What is your favorite subject thing to capture?
It's such a hard
Ooh.
question.
That was my question.
I feel like I don't feel like I can say I have a style. I'm not a nature photographer or a street photographer or, an astrophotographer. I'm trying to do all of it. I was at a tulip farm today and I tried to get from the widest shots to capture the whole field to macro shots where I'm just getting like a drop of water on a petal. So a favorite subject, I don't know. I've done so many things. And I think that's what was cool in the course I took online too during COVID was, I was setting up a black screen in my kitchen and doing ice cube dropping to
Right.
get
I did the same
water
thing.
splashes,
I did
or
the same thing.
smoke out of a candle that I was blowing out, or
Right.
cookies piled in a, cool little tray, to do
Mm.
still life things. I don't have a favorite subject.
Yeah, I don't think
My
people have to be.
family would be
I
my
don't
favorite.
think. Yeah, I don't think people have to be pressured into that too, because everyone asks, "Oh, what's your niche?" or "What's like."
Yeah.
You don't have to be in that.
No,
You can do everything.
I don't feel like one speaks to me more than
Right.
another, and frankly, I love the challenge of something I haven't done and
Yeah.
trying to say, "Okay, did it. Now I've got that picture."
Yeah. Exactly. That's how you just kind of grow too as a photographer, and like your skills. Just try different things and kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone. Because if you constantly do the same thing over and over again, it may get a little bit boring sometimes. Because
Yeah, and I
it's the
think a lot
same.
of photography, this journey, especially since COVID, is been steps out of my comfort zone from,
Yeah.
joining Toronto groups to
Right.
doing a book to
Yeah. These
trying
are
to
big
work for a
steps.
client, like all of those things, I
Yeah.
kind of go like, "Okay, well,
Yeah.
how's that gonna work?"
Yeah. Well, they're
But
pretty big steps.
it's incredible when it's successful.
Yeah, I think those are pretty big steps. I mean, like it's great that you've done it,
Thanks, yeah.
because you can see like the growth too, right? Of just,
Oh, for sure.
personally for you, right?
I look back at pictures now from 2020 and 2021,
Yeah.
and not that they weren't good pictures,
Yeah.
but my photography has really evolved,
Sure.
and it's nice to see the improvements and the change and the growth.
Yeah.
That's really gratifying.
Yeah. And I think if you ask like the best photo people in the world, they'll probably say the same thing, where it's like, oh, my photos were okay, but I can do better. Like you ask the best of the best, they'll probably say the same thing. In
Yeah,
my opinion. In my
I
opinion, they
feel
would
like we're
probably say
hard on
that.
ourselves too,
Well,
or
we
at
are
least
though.
I
We are.
have,
That is
you know?
we're
"Oh,
always our
that's
own worst critic.
good."
We're always our own worst critic,
Yes,
and it's just you just gotta have fun with it. Just kind of keep going. But again, it's a human nature thing,
of course.
But again, yeah, don't yeah. I mean, I don't you don't have to be pressured to be in like a niche. Like, it's not you're not trying to become a lawyer here. It's like I can do whatever I want.
Right. It's an art,
Yeah,
and art is very subjective, and
yeah.
a photo I might love, I've had photos I love, and my family will say, "Oh, that's not our favorite one, we like something else," and
Okay. Wow, they're
it's
honest, eh?
they're honest, but they're always in my corner.
It's good. Well, it's good to have
Um,
honest people. It's good
oh,
to have that though.
for sure,
And
for
you
sure.
know,
Honest, but kind.
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to get honest feedback. Difficult because you need to
Yeah.
really go to like I don't know. You can't ask family or friends. It's for like usually it's like oh it's nice that's good, but if you actually want feedback, the actual like aperture change or whatever shutter speed or the depth of field was off or the composition was this or that, and I
Then
think
I go
that's
to my photo mentors in Toronto.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
actually give you that like actual feedback like look, this is good, you know I like this,
Try
what
this. Yeah.
it's hard to get that kind of stuff sometimes. But
Mhm.
Haley, what are the next big things in your photography bucket list?
Oh,
Good
wow. Thanks,
question,
Haley.
Haley. What a zinger question that is.
So in the summer, we've got a safari planned,
Where are you going now?
Tanzania.
Oh my god.
So that's gonna be a huge bucket list,
Tanzania for
trip.
how long?
Sorry, how long? 10 days?
Honest, on like a planned safari, like an organized safari.
Yeah, it's a planned safari. And yeah, I always start off heading to a trip with a picture in my mind of I want this photo. I want
Okay.
this. I want a
What is it that you
beautiful silhouette of a family of elephants
Yeah, you want the National Geographic.
crossing under
You
a
want the
lone
National Geographic
tree.
cover photo, and then you'll sell it for National Geographic.
That would be great.
Say, "It's okay,
Um,
guys, I got your cover page. It's okay, I got it."
that's right.
So is that what you want for real? The elephant shot?
I do. I want an elephant shot. I want, yeah,
Mm.
we're hoping to see the wildebeest migration. That's
Is
the
that why
time
you're
to
going?
be there. We're going to celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary,
Oh,
which is a
congrats.
really big accomplishment.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I'll clap for that.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
yeah, but we looked at the timing of it and thought, if we can be there for that migration, that would be really cool to see. But I feel like any wildlife is gonna, I mean, it's just gonna be incredible to capture that.
Tanzania? Man,
Mhm.
what a trip.
I know.
Jeez. When are you going?
We are going in July.
July.
Yeah.
So how many like SD cards are you taking with you?
Yeah, there'll
Too
be
many.
3 SD cards, 4 batteries. That's why I'm glad I don't need lenses, right?
Right. Yeah, well, you got the 400.
I got the
You
400.
got
Well,
a
for something
why?
like that, a 600 would be
Yeah,
incredible, but
sure.
I don't have that equipment,
Sure.
so and I wouldn't wanna be necessarily traveling with that
Yeah,
type of
yeah.
equipment
It'd be
too.
where you gonna put that in the overhead bin?
Yeah, this camera is so
Yeah,
versatile that,
yeah.
it goes
Very
into
convenient.
my tote bag and off I go.
I'm so jealous. Alan, another question from Alan. With so many pictures across so many places, plus now Africa and summer, are you planning another book to share with the world? Please say yes. Please say yes, Marnie.
Okay, yes.
There you go.
Yeah,
Breaking news.
I'd love to eventually, um, I don't know, do something of landscapes of, these grand nature. It's interesting. I used to come home from trips and say, "Oh, this place was so incredible," but the pictures
Yeah,
don't do it justice.
yeah.
And one
True.
thing in the past 2-ish years, I feel like I've been able to do is kind of try to understand how you capture that scale.
Mm.
So to take those type of pictures and maybe make a book,
I think
is a
might be
thought.
onto something. Like a travel book?
Yeah.
Yeah. Might be onto
Some
something.
I make, photo books just for my own family. We do a photo
Sure.
yearbook every year, and I make a photo book after trips we go on. I do posters that we hang up, in our home, but
Wow.
I think maybe eventually I would do another book.
Well, it'll go smoother this time because now you know like how the whole process goes.
It
So you got
will.
it all down to a science, really.
Yeah, it's a tough go to get the sales moving. That's the
Yeah,
harder
yeah,
part, to get it out there. It exists. It will always
yeah,
exist. I'm super proud of that.
yeah,
But life as an artist it's a good thing
yeah.
I'm a teacher.
Sure.
And that is a passion,
Yeah,
not my, like, full-time.
sure. Well, that's the great thing about having that is like there is no pressure.
Exactly.
Just having
It
fun
would
with
take
it,
the
right?
joy out of it if there was
Yeah.
pressure.
Where would you want the book to be in? Like we were talking last week
Um
about like
So I'd
hotels and
love
stuff,
to
but
see it in boutique hotel
yeah.
lobbies downtown where, people who come and enjoy Toronto would sit and look at
Why
it in a
why
lobby
wouldn't they want it? Why wouldn't they
and
want
yeah, I know.
it? Like
I
why
gotta
wouldn't you
find
want
ones who do.
this?
Then it would
Sure.
be a cool souvenir, in a gift
Yeah.
shop,
Yeah.
to take.
Yeah, like why? Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you trying to get in contact with them and try to pitch it or
I pitched it when the book first came out last year,
yeah.
and I think got dejected in not having responses or, the success I was looking for there,
Yeah.
but I've since been able to, get it into some professional offices. So there's some
Yeah, that's good.
accounting and medical and chiropractic offices that have it as a lobby, a
Nice.
waiting room book,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
people enjoy looking at it, and that's great. And you just have to be persistent. So I think I
Yeah.
gotta go into some of the places, some of these, little hotels downtown, and just hand out copies and say, here.
Yeah. Sometimes yeah. So sometimes they may need to see it.
For sure.
Like a
For
show,
sure.
like a show versus tell kind of thing. So let me just see it. But
Exactly. Exactly.
Allen, airport gift shops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it's a different,
have the Toronto airport.
skill set, right? Like the sales side, the business side is a different
It is.
thing.
It totally is.
Artists aren't usually business people,
No.
so
But I've got the advisors in my family with those skills,
yeah,
so
that's
we
good.
make a good team.
That's nice. It's like a dream team over there.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think definitely boutique hotels should definitely have it. Like, why wouldn't you want this? But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
um,
This summer I'll make my rounds downtown
but
and
yeah, travel book. I mean, like, it's interesting.
for
The
sure.
cover, the cover pages, the cover page of the book is going to be like it's like the elephant shot.
Yeah.
Man,
I
so
mean, it
jealous of
definitely fits. It fits,
Yeah,
it makes sense
it does
to
make
have it
sense.
in a hotel.
It
So
does make sense.
we'll see.
All right. Well, hopefully you get it.
Keep slogging
You should
away.
you should come back on the podcast and you can tell us all about the trip, and then you can make
Sure.
me jealous with all the crazy photos and everything you have.
Animal pictures? Are you an
Yeah,
animal person?
I like animals. Like I would do wildlife. Like I'm not sure if I have the patience though to wait there all day, but maybe you never know.
So one of my most proud photos is a hummingbird picture that I got um, over the Christmas holidays in Costa
Okay.
Rica.
Okay.
Um, Talk about needing patience.
Right.
Hummingbirds are so difficult to capture, and we were in a place called the Hummingbird Cafe. There were hundreds of them everywhere, and I was so stressed. Everywhere I turned, I was trying to get the hummingbirds in my frame, and then they were gone. But yeah, you need a lot of patience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully on this organized
and we
safari.
do a lot of failed photos to find the one.
That's it's the name of the game.
It is,
It's
totally
the
is,
name of the game.
$100%.
You can't have it all sometimes. Sometimes you gotta suffer for your art sometimes, But it makes for
Yeah,
a good story.
it's humbling, and
I
it
w
makes you just wanna try harder.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I stood there for 14 hours and I didn't get anything. Oh, great, great.
Yeah.
But it was a great time. No, you'll get some really good stuff for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
I think so.
100%.
Yeah.
Um, While we're slowly up against the hour, so did you want to share anything else or any advice for people out there that want to get going in photography or
Find your passion and run with it,
Mhm.
Life is short, and
Yeah,
if you wanna do something, do it. I saw a quote once that said, so I'm gonna butcher the quote, but it was
yeah,
like, you start something and people are gonna say, "Why are you doing it?" And 5 years
yeah,
later, people are gonna say, "How did you do that?"
yeah. It's true
So
though, isn't it?
that's sort of that became a bit of
Hmm.
a motto and stuck with me, and I wanna be that one that people say, "Hey, how did you do like, you did that."
I
So,
think they're already saying that. I think people are already saying that. Yeah,
you know,
it's a good quote
so
actually.
I say it, so, proud of what I've accomplished for myself.
Yeah, no,
Um,
you should be proud. Definitely took
well,
some. Yeah, it's good. I mean,
cool.
what can I say? It's good stuff, right? You just gotta keep going.
Exactly.
That's the name of the game sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Marty, for coming on. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, it was great, thanks for having me.
Yeah, hopefully have you back on. And thanks everyone for watching, listening, wherever this thing is. And
Yeah.
Marnie's links are in the description. So if you want to get in touch with her, with Ladies of the GTA, or buy her book, or join her on the safari in Tanzania, definitely reach out. Because I might be asking that. That's why.
Alright.
Um, anyway, thanks again, Marnie. And
Yeah.
we'll see you next time.
Amazing, thank you.
All right.